Okay, go ahead, Veeresh.
Yes, sir. So actually, as per the requirement, Academy has given and asked us to develop one project. So I have implemented the same. The ask was like we need to implement a project on our own, like that. iFlow should contain like any requirement related to uh, yeah, yeah, real time. So I have implemented for the same. So the ask was like it should contain file adapter, JDBC, AMQP adapters, and REST adapters, and parrot functions. These should be used in the iFlow, and acceptance of process, and in the Groovy script, and message logging, and sample data structures. Yeah. So this was the ask by our academy training program. So this is my project I have developed for the same, which is related to healthcare industry. So basically, this project I have developed regarding the real-time um, uh, real-time case. So like this is like the they are receiving the patient information from one of the REST API. So through middleware, we need to estimate the bill based on the policy type, like patient have, like um, insurance type as like whether government or private. Based on that, we are estimating the bill, and we are sending to the downstream endpoints. That is the um, uh, project I have developed. And see, so this is the project documentation. So a hospital receives patient admission detail from an partner system in XML format via REST API. So the integration flow will consume patient admission data from an external REST API, validate and enrich data by fetching insurance details from a database using JDBC adapter, and store the admission record in a local file system for compliance using file adapter, and send billing details to AMQP system via REST adapter. So I have implemented the same. This is the architecture diagram, and we'll soon dive into the iFlow. And this is the um, endpoint which I have generated from iFlow, and this is the adapter configuration from the sender side, which is REST API, and this is the JDBC adapter which I have used. By using the select query, I am fetching the patient details, insurance type, and coverage percentage from the patient insurance table. And so finally, in the downstream, I've been using FTP server, and yeah, in the JSON format, I've been storing in the receiver side, and for AMQP adapters. So these are the some basic integration components I have used in the iFlow to build the project, which is general splitter, content modifier, router, and message mapping. So I have implemented the exceptions of process also to capture any errors. And this is the Groovy script for to get the estimation bill in the CPI layer itself. So this is the some Groovy script I've used, and this is the sample input data we are getting, like patient ID, name, and admission date. So these are the input source details we are getting, and in the output case, downstream systems expecting patient ID and name and date of admission and policy type and bill amount and eligibility. So these we are configuring, we are getting it from the database, and we are estimating the bill from the Groovy script and sending it to the downstream systems. So this is the error handling I have implemented. So if it in case any exception occurs, so it will trigger an email configuration. So this is my project document, and let's dive into the integration flow. So this is the my integration flow. Sorry, not this one. This one. Just this is the another right flow. It's the healthcare project. So the source side is REST API. So I have used here sender adapter as a HTTPS. So this I given the endpoint, which is address. So sources I'm utilizing as a postman. So this is the patient details which we are receiving to the CPI, and I've used a general splitter here to split the records. And here I'm using the content modifier for the select query to get the details from the database by using the JDBC adapter. So this is the table which we have been maintaining the patient details along with incident type and coverage percentage and all. So here I'm filtering based on the patient ID. I'm capturing this patient ID in the property, which is this one. So by that I'm filtering and I'm going to the database. So this is the table I have been maintaining. So in this table, it is having patient ID, insurance type, and coverage percentage, how much percentage it is covering for the patient based on the insurance type, whether it is government or private, like that.
Okay.
So by that, I am in the next tab. After fetching these details, so I've been using the Groovy script for the estimation bill. So this is the script I have implemented. So basically, if it is insurance type, I'm capturing and coverage percentage. If it is government, it is covering up to 50,000. If it is private type, it would be covering around 1 lakh. So basically, based on this base amount, so we are generating the estimation bill, like base amount minus base amount into coverage divided by 100. By this, it is estimating bill. And finally, we're setting property as the estimation bill. So one property we're maintaining this as estimation bill. In the output, we are getting this bill based on the insurance type, whether it is government or private, like that.
Okay.
And next, I've used content modifier to set these properties, whether and instance type and estimation bill. I'm capturing it from the script, and I use the mapping, just map the fields from source to receiver, as it is expecting some different formats. So it is like this. So I'm doing mapping only, but here in the receiver side, I have given as eligibility as yes by default by using the constant, because every patient is eligible for that healthcare industry. So and followed by I have used parallel multicast to send the same payload to the different endpoints. So one of the endpoint is AMQP. In AMQP receiver side, I've used our Academy API server, which is this one. I'm posting those details to the AMQP. And another one, so in another endpoint, I've used the router to validate.
So what is this AMQP doing there, Virish? Virish, what is this AMQP doing there, AMQP?
Yeah, AMQP we have used here to send this data to the AMQP server. This one to this endpoint.
But that's an HTTP, right? Okay.
There's HTTP, but I just used our academy service.
Okay. Okay. No, I mean, maybe here AMQP is misleading, right? Because you're not using a JMS queue server.
Yeah. Actual AMQP I'm not using here, but
Okay. Okay.
I just
Got it.
used. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So here I'm segregating records based on the instance type. If it is government, then it is going to one of the FTP server, and if it is private, it is going to another FTP server. And finally, I have implemented this one, which is acceptance of process. If there is any errors, I have configured email, it will trigger an email. So this is all about this healthcare project, and let me deploy this one.
Okay.
And we are triggering payload from the source. It is success. So yeah, so from the source side, we're sending the patient IDs that PAT001. The name is John Doe, and whether he is eligible or not, it is going to the database. It is picking up the patient ID, and based on that patient ID, it will picking up the incidence type and the coverage percentage from the database, and it will send to the script. And in the script, we are finding the estimation bill, and we are sending to the downstream systems. So here, this is the government endpoint which we are sending to the FTP server. Yeah, let's check in the FTP server. If I paste in details. So it is the which folder government. So all government insurance patient details will be stored in one of the file. Today's 2016 folder. This is the latest file. So in the receiver side,
Perfect. Okay.
we are getting all these details along with added fields.
Depender.
Split.
The first one, the second one, the second one.
Yeah. So in the source side, we're sending these three fields. First three fields, which is patient ID, full name, and date of admission. So in the script level, from the database, we are getting these three, which is policy type and the bill amount. And this is we are adding through script, the graphical mapping level. So as it is a government level, so it is covering some percentage of coverage, and so we are estimating the bill, which is 10,000.
Okay.
And in the next script, this is the instance type is private. In the private side, it is calculating the different. It is having different estimation bill.
Open a new tab. I think it will work.
Yes, Amish.
Yeah, open a new tab. Yeah. Second one.
Yeah. So this is the private one. So
Mhm.
final estimation bill is 1,000, as it is covering a lot of policies in that in the private insurance type. So estimation bill is 1,000 only. Here in the government, it is 10,000, like that. We are estimating the bill.
Okay.
This is the, all about this project.
If you go back to the iFlow, please, Viresh.
Yes, sir.
So here we have used HTTP adapter and JDBC and FTP adapter, right?
Yes.
Okay. And from the exception handling perspective, you have used a mail adapter to send out the
Yes.
email in case of.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
from the Groovy, so
yes,
from the
yes.
Groovy scripting perspective, you have implemented two Groovy scripts here. One is I see. So can you open the Groovy scripting for doing this calculation of the amount? It is a Groovy script, okay. And here actually you're building an XML mess. You're reading the data and then converting it to an XML message, and then okay, perfect. Okay, and okay. If you go back to the process flow again, so here for the database lookup, you have used JDBC create
JDBC.
database.
Yeah.
Okay, but one alternative is that you can also use value mapping lookup, right? I think
Yes.
you could also
Yes.
try that. Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Okay. Okay, if you go back to the document again, the project document initial requirement from the academy.
Yes. Yeah.
This is the document.
This one.
Perfect documented. Okay, this one. Okay, so here the requirement is that can you scroll down? So you have to use at least 3 adapters. Then you have already used it. That's good. And then you have used content modifier, router, and parallel multicasting and mapping and timer. No timer. At least you have used Google scripting. Can you scroll down? The exceptions of process is done. That's good. And you have used Groovy scripting. Perfect. And message logging also partially done in the FTP server with messages, and you have also used conversions from JSON to XML and vice versa. Okay, perfect. Okay, I think then your job is done, Viresh. Okay, well executed. And so, what is your opinion? You learned all the core concepts of SAP CPI, and you managed to learn everything what you expect from Academy.
Yes, I have learned from basics to advanced. All topics have been covered. So by that
Okay.
only, I could able to build this requirement, and yeah,
Okay.
it really helped.
Okay, thank you, Viresh. Okay, thank you very much, and really job well done. Okay, I really appreciate the effort you put in. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
Bye.
you.